67 inch farmer going over the dump trailer. This is a hydraulics. I forgot what part this is, but before we get into it, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So this is going to be my hydraulic tank. It's an old propane tank. I just cut the handle off of it so it doesn't look like a propane tank, and people freak out. Paint's wet. This is going to be my suction line. I have a little half-inch nipple, I think it is, going into the pipe just a little bit. I think it's just as long as the threads are inside, so I don't get all the sediment from the very bottom. Then I have this 90 going from half-inch to 3/8. That's suction line. This is going to be the return. I believe that's 3/4 inch NPT. And then I have the fill right here on that side. Right here is the fill cap. I drilled 2 small holes on either side for air to get in. I can see that clearly on the inside. That's going to breathe. That fits in there perfect, and that's going to be the fill. The paint's still wet on this. It's going to sit somewhat like that. And then Hunter's working on making a plate. I'll show you that here in a second. Just keep that plate in mind, the little tiny plate.
What I'm doing.
And so that tank's going to be mounted inside the box. So I'll show you. Let's get to the pump. Here's the pump. So I'm going to take brake line flare tool and flare this end, and put no hydraulic line over that, like a suction line or something, just a single wall, and crimp that on with the hose clamps. This is a 3/8 suction line on the back of the pump, and then this is the pressure line going to the tank. That's a number 6 O-ring base to a JIC 90, and that will go right to the hydraulic cylinder. It's raining a little bit here, but as you can see, I got the dump trailer up. I had that running off a battery, and a 5-gallon bucket full of oil right there, and it's just used oil. But that's the plate Hunter's marking out and cutting out with a plasma cutter, and then this is the pressure line, half-inch and NPT fitting. Goes a couple bushings, get it up to 1.5 inches. We're covering that up because that's sort of a breather. Open that up, and that's going to be the new breather. And then that goes down to my JIC. They finish right on the pump. And then that also goes back into the pump for the return. So I'm going to mount that tank right here. And then the pump is going to sit in this toolbox, which is going to be 3.5 inches from this line right here, about right there. And I'm going to bolt that on there, and I'm going to weld some gussets from here over to there and help give it a little bit more strength. Not that it needs it, but it'll help. And then bought some steel. I bought some steel for these grooves here. There's 3 of them on each side. You can't really see on the video, but this trailer's so black. But those are to support the wood on the back side. When I put lumber in, I'm going to make 2-foot high sides on that. I'll show you the steel I got here. So I got 1.5 inch by 3/16 flat stock, 10 feet long, and then I also got 10 feet of 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch by 2 by 2, 10-foot long angle iron. And that angle iron, I'm going to make a bracket for that tank to sit right underneath the box. That suction line is going to go from the bottom here and come up to the underneath this cross member right here. And then to fill, you'd have to open up the dump box like this to fill the tank up, but it is what it is. We tested that out. We tested this tank out. We put 120 psi of air in there and made sure there's no leaks. We had a little bit of seepage in there. We filled it with water, and it was just seeping out the bottom, so I welded it again. I should have showed you guys these welds before I painted it. Made me look like I'm a better welder, but those welds didn't turn out too bad, and they were holding the first time I tried it, so I'm pretty impressed. Now welding this here, that big cast piece, that was a real pain. I turned my welder up all the way and concentrated most of my weld on the fitting, and then a very little bit onto the tank itself. But that's good and holds water. It might seep a little bit if you put it under high pressure right here, but there is a breather, and that's where pressure is going to release first, is right on the breather. Thanks for watching. Like I said before, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. In my next video, I will have I'll probably be doing the lights on that thing, hooking the hydraulics up, one of the two, or maybe both of them together. But catch you later.